Okay, it's recording. Right. Alright, guys and girls, welcome back to another quick video on Monday, the 21st of June. It's 7:51 in the morning, and I've just looking at something interesting actually. Alright, and it's a bit 2 days late, but I'm sort of trying to look at some of the news articles because I'm into all this news articles and stuff. Now, let me just get up the. Actually, if I bring up the page, right. Sure. So this one's to do with the Evening Standard papers. Let me bring up my display. There we go. So that way. Oh shit! Can I click that? Make it smaller. It's not allowing me to make it smaller for some reason. Aha. Now I can shrink it down a little bit. There we go. Because I've got my camera over this side at the moment, the webcam. Actually, can I put it down there? Okay. Okay, so I don't know if you guys will be able to see it in girls. Actually, should be able to. Actually, I'll just pop this up for just a second so you can see it in full screen. Don't worry about my face for a minute. Nothing much to look at the moment. Anyway. So there we go, guys and girls. Fans who had AstraZeneca vaccine won't be allowed into Bruce Springsteen's New York concerts. Now, I think he's an American singer, Bruce Springsteen. I've not really actually listened to much of his or not really heard it much. But anyway, it said anyone who has had the AstraZeneca vaccine will be barred from attending Bruce Springsteen's comeback shows in New York next week. The intimate 5-night run at the St. James Theaters will be the first Broadway show to reopen since last March and will require attendees to show proof of vaccination reports. So basically, if they've had the AstraZeneca, which hadn't been they said hadn't been approved or something or whatever, I have no idea, but also it gave people blood clots. That's what they were trying to say. I think that's probably what's happened. However, the list will be limited only to jabs approved by the U.S. Food and Drug Administrations, Moderna, Pfizer, BioNTech, and Johnson & Johnson. So they're pretty much mostly American sort of thing. So they don't want the UK one then, basically. Any potential concert goers who received their Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine overseas will be left with the prospect of being turned away at the door should they book tickets to. At the direction of New York State, Springsteen on Broadway and the St. James Theater will only be accepting proof of FDA-approved COVID-19. So they're saying then basically that the AstraZeneca hasn't been approved. Is that what they're trying to say? A COVID-19 vaccine, the official website says. The Canadian fans have expressed disappointment as the country is just hours across the border, with 1.7 million people having already been given the Oxford-developed vaccine. Gianna Valencia wrote on Twitter, "No Springsteen on Broadway for me," she goes. The Toronto Star newspaper ran with the headline, "Burn in the USA," adding, "The show must go on, but if you got the AstraZeneca vaccine, you're not invited." So the jab, which has been rolled out across the UK, came under scrutiny across the globe after a small number of people suffered extremely rare blood clots after receiving their dose. The NHS says that the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine is safe and tested and will protect you against serious illnesses from COVID-19. But then this was 2 days going back when they put this on. And if you go on to here, they've got a new latest one. They've just gone back on their word. So Springsteen on Broadway reverses its AstraZeneca vaccine policy. This means vaccinated international fans can now see the boss in action on Broadway. I've never been on a Broadway sort of theatre thing, so I mean it'd be quite interesting. Bruce Springsteen fans who have been given the AstraZeneca coronavirus vaccine will now be able to attend his Broadway stages show. Earlier this month, it was announced that Springsteen on Broadway will be returning for a second run, with fully vaccinated fans allowed to purchase tickets for the shows, which run from next week, June the 26th, so that's only a couple of days to go, to early September. However, a recent statement revealed that the vaccine received needs to be on the FDA-approved list in the United States, and the AstraZeneca jab is yet to be certified in the country, though it has been given to millions of people abroad. Therefore, any fan who had been administered the AstraZeneca vaccine was not going to be granted entry at Broadway St. James Theatre, but Jujamcyn Theaters, which owns the St. James, has now announced that following amended New York state guidelines, it would now welcome fans who are fully vaccinated with either an FDA or a WHO authorised vaccine. The AstraZeneca vaccine's been approved by the World Health Organization. It was just Jujamcyn's amended policy now reads, guests will need to be fully vaccinated with the FDA or the WHO-approved vaccine in order to attend Springsteen on Broadway and must show proof of vaccination at the time of entry into the theatre. With their valid ticket, fully vaccinated means the performance date you are attending must be at least 14 days after your second dose of. So you've got to be 14 days after your second dose of an FDA or WHO approved 2 doses COVID vaccine 19. At least 14 days after your single dose of FDA or WHO approved single dose of COVID-19 vaccine. The only exception the policy states will be for children under the age of 16 or those who need reasonable accommodation due to the disability or sincerely held religious beliefs. Many of you have asked. Here's the answer. Springsteen's longtime guitarist Stephen Van Zandt said of the update, there were many complications to overcome the regulations, national, state, city, theatre, etc. changing constantly. Happy ending for the fans. Recently, Springsteen similarly confirmed that he has a new record coming out soon. A new album would be the legend's first release since 2020's Letter to You, which followed on from 2019's Western Stars, a nod to the music of the American West. Last week, Springsteen appeared alongside the Killers on a new track, Dustland, an adaptation of the Las Vegas band in 2009 track, A Dustland Fairy Tale. So, anyway, so it's just then about this, but anyway, guys and girls, right, so what does this mean for future videos? Does this mean basically then if they don't approve or they think they don't approve of the vaccine, then they will not have that vaccine. Well, basically, if someone says, "Oh, we're gonna not have that AstraZeneca in theaters or maybe cafes and restaurants and all this kind of stuff," then, or whatever, not just AstraZeneca, it could be anything. So pubs could say, right, okay, so you've just had that vaccine, so you can't come in now because we don't approve of it or we don't believe it. I mean, it could be many different reasons. It could be like you could have had any of those vaccines and be turned away, no matter. Because I thought basically once you've had that vaccine, you're more free to do whatever you want. But by the looks of it, it doesn't feel that way now. So obviously they've done a good thing now to say, yes, we've approved it and we've put it through so the audience and the fans could come back in this time with the AstraZeneca. But what about in the future when they say, like maybe some more people get ill from these vaccines or something happens? I don't know, anything could happen. Or they might be well enough and they say, well, we don't trust those ones, or we do trust those, or there's certain vaccines they trust and certain ones they don't. What then? Are they just going to turn people away? So, which vaccine you've had? Oh, I've had this one. I've had the AstraZeneca. Well, sorry, mate. You're barred. You can't come in because you've had that one, because we don't trust that one. So, let us know in the comments below, guys and girls, what you think of it, of this whole post. I mean, do you think it's ridiculous? If you've had the vaccine, you should be allowed to enter anywhere and go anywhere. But obviously, they've made a good decision to reverse the decision on this vaccine to let people in after they've had it. But I just think it's a bit silly, to be honest. Like, you've had the vaccine, you're more protected, or you're supposed to be more protected. But then again, well, what else happens? But let us know in the comments below, guys and girls. It is Monday, the 21st of June, 8:03 in the morning now. And I'll see you on the next episode, guys and girls. Cheers for watching. Stay safe.